Hello, everybody. My name is Andres Sanchez, and this is Red Eye. And today I am here with
Keith Morris, the Circle Jerks, and Off, and occasionally Flag.
Thanks so much for speaking with us today.
Very rare occasion Flag.
So, real quick, we're here in McAllen, Texas, the beginning of y'all's tour.
It's not really a tour. We're just playing 3 shows. I don't really consider that much of a tour.
Just came to play in McAllen specifically then.
Yeah, nowhere else.
Y'all tried to tour in 2020, right? Because I think your debut records, Group Sex, hit 40 years, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, but now we're at 42 years.
Going on 43.
And you can still party to Wild in the Streets, because that was re-released, like 7-8 months ago?
Yeah, because it hit 40 last year.
Okay.
Y'all have been doing this for a long time, too. That's the thing, right? Like, this music is all, 40-some years old?
40? I think you know more about it than I do.
Perhaps.
Terrible with dates, and on this date, this happened, and in our overall world history, the volcano exploded, and there was all of the lava and the dinosaurs, and then there was a rocket ship that flew over, and the aliens were chasing it.
We're in the downtown district. This is where all the clubs tend to be. They're moving around, but this is kind of like the strip for McAllen. How does it feel to be on the strip?
I'm not taking my clothes off. Forget it.
Well, let me change the subject. It seems to take a beating, though. You've been doing this for a while. How does it feel to be still playing this music this far down the line?
I get a kick out of it. You know, people ask me this all the time, and it's like, it's a hurdle to get over, because being at this age, trying to keep up with all of these kids, I mean, it's difficult. Everybody's going everywhere, and we're still running, trying to catch up to them, and it is what it is.
Well, speaking of the young kids, though, are there any bands that you're into now, like folks that you're like, oh yeah, these kids are doing it?
Well, we've played some shows with Scowl. You want to say they're young, but the guys, they look like they've been around for a while, like they've been a band for at least 7 or 8 years. That's a little bit of time. I've seen the Lindas a couple of times. Now, they're young. They haven't even graduated high school.
Yeah, they're like teenagers.
Yeah, I think they're like freshmen and sophomore at their high school.
How do you feel about doing the DIY thing, to this day?
Well, you say do it yourself, but the fact of the matter is that we have people that work for us because we've been doing this for so long. It's not like we're getting on the phone and saying, hey, we're going to be coming to your town. You have a venue for us to play? We have people that do that for us. You know, you reach a certain point with as much touring as we've done, where you got to have a booking agent. I just had a situation that arose with Off and the Circle Jerk. Our manager had our booking agent book some shows with the Descendants.
Friends.
And everybody was totally into it. And then my other band, Off, we got an offer to go to South America. I'm not blowing off South America. How often do you get to go to South America?
I completely empathize with that. Speaking of places that you've never been to, this is your first time to McAllen, right? Any reflections on that so far?
Joey played here with Glenn Danzig.
When was that?
Not this particular venue, but he played here with Danzig, and he said that while they were playing, the kids on the other side, see, there shouldn't be
border. Yeah, agreed.
You know, there should not be a border, because if anybody's familiar with North American history or just the history of the Americas, it's not about white people.
True.
Let me finish the story with Joey and Danzig playing here, and the kids who were from that side came over to this side and ransacked and pillaged the backstage area, which is, fuck yeah, that's awesome. Now, getting back to the history, the Republicans, who can't pay attention to anything, don't want abortion to be legal because the majority of women who get abortions, who have abortions, in whatever their personal situation is, for whatever reason, it should be their choice and nobody else's.
Agreed.
If you are familiar or you even had anything that resembled American history when you were in school, you would understand. And we, when I say we, I mean us white people. I really dislike a lot of them. Quite a few of them. Should take a couple of steps back and just check out the situation and understand that we've never been the majority in this part of the world. You know, so when somebody says, why don't you go back to where you came from? You get to tell them, why don't you go back to where you came from?
No, excellent points for sure. So we had some questions that folks brought in from social media that I wanted to ask you. Are there any flag plans on the horizon?
We would like to play. Billy and I toss it around every now and then. Dezza would love to do it. But we have no plans. And the reason being is I'm playing a lot of shows with the Circle Jerks, and I'm in another band called Off. We just released an album. We just got through filming a movie. Our movie's going to be out hopefully by the end of the year, and that means we're going to continue playing live because we've got a record to promote. We have a movie that's coming out that we need to promote.
Tell me about the movie. Is that like your own version of the Beatles' Help, but with Off?
Oh, that would be great if we had our own version of Help.
That's what I'm expecting of this.
Or the Monkey's Head, or Frank Zappa's 200 Motels.
So tell me about it. What do y'all got going on?
Well, we actually, the band fights evil space aliens.
Love that.
So it's science fiction. And it's a love story. And we get to save the world. We get to save humanity. Because we're such a great band and everybody loves us and enjoys us. And
do you have any final comments for the community? Any final comments for aspiring musicians, folks who want to do what you do and do it as long as you have?
For the up-and-coming musicians, I would say don't do it. And I'm just being facetious. I'm just kidding. If you're going to do it with conviction. God, I can't even talk.
Take two.
I need something to eat. Do it with conviction. Do it like you mean it. Put as much of yourself into it. And when I say put as much of yourself into it, I mean your personality. Because all of this stuff has been played before. There's only so many things that you can play on the guitar or the piano. There's only so many different drum beats. It's like put yourself into it and do it. Don't do it half-assed. If you're going to do it, jump off the high dive. And don't worry about how much water is down below until you hit below.
Fair enough. Keith, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Cheers.
Okay. This is Andres Sanchez, Keith Morris for Breaker Breaker, signing off.